Coming up, lunch jungle style.
It was crunchy.
A major row splits the camp.
Sam wasn't enjoying it, Sam's evil.
And emotions run high.
It is hard being all the way out here.
The young adventurers have just had the hardest 24 hours of their lives, canoeing up the Amazon, trekking through the rainforest with heavy packs,
Okay, go for it.
and spending their first night camping out in the heart of the jungle.
I never thought it'd actually get this tough.
None found it harder than Matt.
Absolutely hate it that I'm treading tomorrow.
By morning he'd reached breaking point. The thought of the trek back to base camp was too much.
Just dreading any big walks with the rucksack because I can't stand the rucksack.
The leaders stepped in and tried to talk him round.
If I knew I could go straight home, I would go straight home now.
No.
Through it now.
Try and stick with it, because it will get easier.
But unfortunately, before it gets easier, it's going to get quite a bit harder.
The good news is, we're all going back to our luxury camp today. We've also got some bad news. And you guys are going to navigate your way home.
Finding their own way means it will take even longer to get back to the canoes, and there's plenty to do before they can even begin.
Okay, what needs to happen now is, girls, if you want to go down to the squat spot, and John and Matt, the poo pit, and with a spade, fill it back in.
John and Matt have been given one of the worst camp jobs, filling in the toilet trench.
It stinks, but it's not too bad. It could be worse.
Despite the long trek ahead, Matt is feeling much more positive after his chat with the leaders.
All of the group were in the same position as me yesterday, and I thought it was just me. But it wasn't. Everyone felt the same, so don't feel as bad now.
Even if they can find their way, the trek through dense jungle will take well over an hour.
We have to dig deep to get through this because we're all quite tired.
We'll probably fail without Ben and Polly helping us. We'll get probably very last.
I want you to set a bearing for 300 degrees, and I want you to walk on that bearing for 40 metres.
Should we walk across that log, then we won't have to...
They quickly realise they have to cross the river.
OK, you going for the log option?
Some decide simply to wade across.
Not deep at all, actually.
Well done, Jamie.
Keep moving, Matt.
Oh, it's nearly stuck then.
This was such a bad idea.
It's a tiring start to the trek, and as they have to measure distance by counting paces, it's made keeping on course much trickier. Despite this, they reach their first checkpoint perfectly.
Right, we're spot on so far. OK, your next bearing, 350 degrees
Oh, you're having a kick.
But how far?
for 50 metres.
The compass says to go that way. Through that.
We will never get through there, Sam. Look at it.
Rather than try to go round, Sam decides that with the local guide's help, they should plough straight through the dense forest. But they soon pay the price.
Is this place full of ants?
I'm getting eaten alive.
And I'm being thorned to death.
I mean, that case, so we just got bitten by 2 fire ants. Other than that, I just want to push on.
I'm just being bit by ants all over my neck, and Polly's just got a few out my ear. It's really sting, but I'm glad I got bit because I'm forgetting the pain on my back. So really, it's bittersweet if you think about it.
Sam has appointed himself chief navigator.
Sam?
There's not really anywhere to go. I'm trying to work out where to go.
Some people are a bit annoyed because we don't really know exactly what's going on up there.
We're just kind of walking and don't know how far we've got to go or where we are.
It would be nice to have a bit more information.
To start off with, we seemed we're a bit of a shambles, and then I just said, well, I'll go ahead and then you can pace to where I am. So I just opted myself, really.
And he manages to keep them right on course once more through the difficult terrain.
You're bang on at the moment, OK? You're bang on. Got one more bearing. 120 degrees. for 120 metres.
Yeah.
Okay?
And then we're home.
It's the final push, and the searing heat combined with their heavy rucksacks is taking its toll.
I'm hoping we can get there soon. It's just my rucksack's really starting to weigh me down. I find it a bit tough.
We have the river. River is here. I've never been so happy to see brown, undrinkable water.
They've done an incredible job.
This is the spot that we wanted you to arrive at. So congratulations. Really, really good.
I suppose I did all right. I didn't point us in the wrong direction, so yeah, I'm proud of myself.
Are we ready to go home?
As they head back, there's the small matter once again of dragging canoes over mud banks.
All the way, all the way, all the way, all the way.
Just before they get back, Ben surprises them with a final exercise.
Okay, right guys, both Polly and myself have spoken loads and loads and loads about waterproofing, all right? We're now going to put it to the test. We're going to do a full capsize drill, all right? Everything, the lot. It's only going to be one boat. You guys.
Yeah!
Okay? So come out to the middle of the river. So you don't go straight into the banks where all the spiky plants are. I don't want you downstream, I want you out in the middle of the river. Let's tip that canoe over.
If the group haven't waterproofed their rucksacks properly, their kit will get soaking wet.
All sit on the left-hand side or all sit on the right. It'll make it a lot easier. That's better. That's it. You're going down now. Woo! Forget about your kit. Forget about the paddles. Right the boat.
What is going on?
Good stuff. Fantastic.
Don't worry about the rucksacks. Once you're all in the boat, you can
Stay with the boat. Stay with the boat, Callie. Stay with the boat.
It went quite well. My hat is still dry, magically, but it went quite well. We got the boat up over really quickly.
I think that my kit's probably all right. I'm a bit worried that some of the top of my belt kit's gotten soaked.
They did really well, actually. The actual drill itself was bang on. Righted the canoe within probably a minute and a half. They're a bit slow getting their kit back, but on the whole, absolutely perfect.
But what about their rucksacks? It's the moment of truth.
What do you reckon? Do you reckon that's going to be waterproof? Not a chance. Wet.
Wet boxers.
You pull it.
Everything is absolutely drenched.
It's wet, it's soaked.
Leave it down.
Why didn't it work?
Possibly not enough turns.
Not as bad as I thought it'd be, actually.
Yeah, it was only half full.
Oh yeah, only half full.
3 down, 1 to go. But has Jamie fared any better?
Look at that. Perfect. Good stuff. This
This is useless, it's soaked.
A few of them have, certainly Callie, her stuff got absolutely soaked. So we're going to have to go back over how to seal and make things watertight.
It's been an extremely tough few days, and the leaders reward them with some rare time off.
This has been the best thing so far because we just spent the whole afternoon doing nothing, slacing and having fun. And we've actually bonded a lot today.
Yeah.
After dinner, they get the chance to listen to some music for the first time since leaving Britain.
You call that dancing?
Gradually, the mood sinks as it begins to remind them of home.
Get behind the sun and cast my weight. All I need's peace this mind.
Oh, you think I cried on a bad day, not a perfect day. We was all just sitting down on the table, and a wave of just, I don't know, emotions and sadness just hit me really badly. It is hard being all the way out here, halfway across the world from anybody you really truly love.
I miss hugs from my friends and just being able to hear their voice. I'd give anything to hear their voice.
And we just had like loads and loads of hugs, and that's really what I needed. That's what I really wanted. I wanted someone to hug me, really, just a big hug.
It's day 6 and back to serious Amazon training, learning to cross a big river without a boat.
What if there's an anaconda on that bank?
Well, Polly's over there, and there's been loads of noise over there this morning, so there won't be anything over on the far side, all right?
It's quite fun, but I'm not going anywhere.
Using their rucksacks as floats, they each try to make their way across.
Just try and keep your legs straight and kick from the hip.
I'm not a very good swimmer, and not a big fan of the water.
Your boots make it really hard.
I fit on land, but not on the water. I hate swimming.
Once you get the momentum going, it's okay, and then you get further across.
Next, they learn how to make a raft from their rucksacks to help a casualty. And Jonathan is more than happy to play the victim.
I'm doing fine.
You look exhausted.
Lovely. No, actually, I know it's really hard work for me. I'm so tired.
Are we actually going anywhere?
I'll push it towards you.
I'm wrecked. I'm actually shattered.
Being at the back was really hard work because I was trying to push the whole lot forward as I was kicking. And it just took a lot out of me, but glad it's over.
I thought that was really fun, and I thought it was beautiful scenery. The water was lovely. You know, it was really nice and warm.
How did you manage to see the scenery?
Because look, you just look
Shit, when you're supposed to be pushing.
pushing at the same time.
The exercise leads them into emergency survival training. If they're ever stranded, there are 3 basics: shelter,
It looks really good. I'd sleep into there.
water,
Who here wants to have a go drinking from the vine?
Oh,
Yeah, cool.
Georgia.
I should take a long time to clean it off first.
I like
Put down nicely, mate.
and food.
He's in.
Don't let him out.
And once you've caught your food, you've got to slaughter it.
I'm not eating water.
Oh, no.
I can't eat that.
What we've got here is a choice. Is it the iguana or is it the turtle?
No, don't do that.
It's alive. You're not going to kill that.
We don't need anything.
That's killing something for no reason.
What you've got to remember is that these are local delicacies. These are what the local people eat. This is where our foodstuffs come from. You know, they're all live animals at some point in time, whether it be an iguana, whether it be a turtle.
Why didn't we kill both?
No.
I mean, we just anyway.
We've just changed the tune completely. You just want to go save the argument off with their head. What we're going to do is we're going to let both these guys go.
No. Yes.
No, we're going to let both these guys go. They're not endangered, but they're not loads and loads and loads, all right? We have a couple of frogs, which we are going to eat.
Lovely.
Okay, which we've got loads of those, right?
Well, I don't agree with killing animals, but if it's the only way you can get food, then, you know, I'm up for doing it.
If all the local people here are doing it, what difference is it going to make if we do it?
Sim has volunteered to kill the frog, and the whole experience is making Callie reflect on what she normally eats.
I think this is definitely a good thing for us to be doing. It's way too easy today for people to just go into a supermarket and take any old meat off a shelf, and I don't think that you can really know your own views on vegetarianism until you've actually had the experience of taking an animal and killing it.
Matt decides not to watch. He wants nothing to do with it.
It's pointless for me. No, I'm not eating any anyway, because I don't want to try any, frankly. I just don't see the point, really.
Simran, are you happy with what you're doing? Yeah?
The most humane way to kill the frog is to hit it quickly on the head.
Yep.
Some of the group react by laughing.
Okay.
Sorry, am I being heartless by laughing?
Jamie is disgusted with them.
Evil.
While most get on with preparing their jungle lunch, Jamie is getting angrier and angrier.
Evil. I don't like people going, oh, I want to kill it, oh yeah, and really craving, bloodthirsty, want to kill it, and then laughing at them.
Before long, the argument starts to escalate.
Jamie was saying it's evil to want to kill it, but it's okay to eat it. He doesn't seem to realise that
Many people at the
some people will want to have that experience.
Come on.
I think it's a bit harsh to say, oh, I want to kill it, I want to kill it. I think that's a bit harsh. But when you laugh at it...
Yeah, I laugh. Like, if I
Reaction,
see
honestly.
something, if I see someone hurt themselves, I laugh because it's my nerve. It's a
I laugh.
reaction that I have.
I
and
laugh.
I'm sick at
You
myself.
laugh and say, this
I
is
laugh,
great.
but I could
Yeah,
not
but
help it. I laugh.
you
That's
don't
what
laugh-
happens.
you
It's a
don't laugh and say,
reaction
this
to
is great.
things.
Jamie's particularly annoyed with one member of the team.
They weren't enjoying it.
Sam wasn't enjoying it. Sam's evil.
He's not that cruel. It was me he was laughing at, not the frog.
Sam, did you laugh because you were having pleasure watching it?
No.
This is great.
No, I wasn't laughing.
Listen to what...
He keeps coming up and just saying, did you enjoy that? Did you have a good time? Was that fun? Was that entertaining and stuff like that? Just trying to make me rise to it and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna. If you've got a problem, that's fine. You don't have to keep going around telling everybody and mention a little bit, okay? If he says anything else...
me what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, it's right for you lot to stand over your little circle slagging me off because I was over there.
None of us was slagging you off, Jamie. Can we all just agree to disagree? We all have our different opinions and take it no further.
Fortunately, lunch is ready and thoughts quickly turn from arguing to food.
Look at that. It's fantastic, isn't it?
First on the menu is caiman, a type of crocodile.
That is really good, isn't it? Right, who else wants a nice meaty chunk?
Me! Oh, me!
Too slow.
It tastes like chicken.
Who would like frog?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, please.
What's it like?
It's really juicy and really flavoursome.
Oh, this morning this was jumping about.
The experience leads Callie to a life-changing decision.
I'm a vegetarian now. Preparing the meat in that way and watching it being killed and all that sort of thing has just sort of made my mind up for me.
Matt is still keeping his distance, refusing to try any of the food.
I wouldn't eat the frogs anyway, even if they died naturally or whatever, because I wouldn't want to eat frogs, frankly.
Yeah.
That tastes like chicken.
Wait.
Polly tries to tempt Matt with some sweet papaya.
Go for it. It is delicious.
Don't like it.
Don't, Matt.
No, I'm not being funny, don't like that, that's bitter.
Please just eat it.
Bitter?
I find that bitter.
I was going to say, that is so sweet.
Don't like it.
This is actually becoming quite a concern, to be honest. If he doesn't eat it, he's... Well, what can we do? I mean, he's asking for crackers and chocolate, and he can't have that.
But you're going to get sick if you don't
No,
eat.
I'm not eating
Matt.
symptom. Come on, please.
Okay.
He's got it in his mind that he doesn't want to try it.
In a real survival situation, almost anything is a potential meal, even roast tarantula.
I'm not eating that. I refuse to eat that.
I mean...
Does everyone want to grab a leg?
No way!
When in the Amazon, you've got to try a bit of spider leg.
Just look at it though!
Not
it's so furry still!
It's still hairy though!
I'm not eating a furry leg!
Got to go for the furry leg. No one else
I've
wants
even
that?
got tarantula hairs in my mouth.
No. I think
You don't eat that bit.
I can't. Oh, it's actually quite nice.
It is, isn't it?
It's just a bit like... Prawn.
No.
And there's worse to come, a live cockroach for the final course.
No, what?
Straight in, crunch, 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 and swallow. Yeah.
Bite it, bite it.
Yeah, it'll just be wiggling.
Oh, you're horrible. What's it taste like?
Yeah, I'll have one.
actually.
Go on, Jamie.
Shoot, Jamie, shoot!
Three, go.
I think that's the biggest achievement of my life. I've had caiman, I've had cockroach, and I've had tarantula. Crazy.
Matt has finally been persuaded to try a local delicacy.
It looks like a banana, tastes like banana, it's yellow. So I think it's a banana.
It was crunchy.
I don't even like bananas.
Today's been good, is it?
It's
Yeah?
been absolutely amazing.
Okay.
I've learnt so much.
Well, there's one more thing for one lucky person. Tonight, we're going to do a trip up the Amazon River to look for big anaconda and big caiman with a couple of the local guys this evening. That person is going to be Callie, because Callie's really into her wildlife, bird spotting, that kind of thing.
It has been the most brilliant day here. I think one of the most amazing days of my life. I've learned so much, I've seen so much, and I've done so many things that I just never thought I would do.
Every day just seems to get better and better, and every day I learn something new, and I just feel like I'm just growing so much here.
But the day's argument is still on their minds.
Sam and Jamie are the older lads, and they're both the strongest lads and the most energetic. And I think it's like they're almost competing for top male.
I know about Sam.
What's wrong with me?
I just lost my temper because he's been getting on my nerves a bit lately anyway, because he likes to be the leader and likes to be in charge and stuff. And just all came out today.
I don't care. I really don't care. He's jealous. He's jealous. He feels threatened by me. I don't know why.
10 p.m. and Callie sets off into the night. They're searching for wildlife in some of the Amazon's remotest tributaries.
I haven't been allowed anywhere near the river when it's dark, and it's a little bit spooky, but mostly just exciting.
Soon they spot their first creature.
Oh, is it a tree frog? Oh, it's so cute. It's got like massive big eyes and really long legs.
Go on, take to the trees.
Oh, wow. That's so cool. It climbs as well. It's the only frog I've ever seen swim and then climb too. It's a very funky little frog.
As they turn off into a tiny creek, it starts to get a bit spooky.
The path's gotten pretty narrow, and Harry and one of the other locals have just disappeared off into the darkness.
They think they've seen something hiding in the roots.
Anaconda?
Anaconda. A little one.
I don't know, can't see.
But in fact, it's not an anaconda or a caiman.
It's not anaconda, it's actually electric eel.
Electric eel?
Oh, right, okay.
The electric eel can deliver a shock of over 600 volts, so it has to be handled extremely carefully.
Look at that, oh, beauty.
It's certainly not going to win the beauty contest. It's pretty impressive. At first Ben thought it was a caiman and then an anaconda, which shows what he knows.
I stand corrected.
By 1 a.m. they decide it's time to head home.
We haven't seen a caiman or an anaconda, which is what we came out here to see, but I've seen an electric eel and it's just been impossible to beat. It's absolutely amazing.
It's their last day in base camp before the main expedition, and yesterday's disagreement is still rumbling on.
There's still tension between me and Jamie. Definitely. I've tried to forget about it, and quite a lot, but he keeps giving me looks.
We need to get along because we need to work as a team, especially over the next 2 weeks. And if there's conflict, then it's just going to make everything so much harder for everyone. And we just kind of need to say, look, we're here, let's make the most of it, and let's grow up a little bit and just focus on what we've got to do.
Tomorrow morning, the young adventurers will be heading out on a marathon canoe journey to remove illegal fishing nets which trap pink river dolphins. Rainforest campaigner Roxanne Kramer explains the importance of the work they'll be doing.
Everything gets caught in those nets. Caiman, pink dolphins. So it's a huge problem, and they're going to become more threatened if something isn't done about this.
Before their expedition, they get a chance to try and spot the endangered dolphins they'll be helping.
It started off and we didn't really see any, like they were kind of not coming up that much and they were going further and further away. But then we got some luck and they started coming up 20 feet all the way from the boat. It was really, really brilliant. I loved it.
Look. Oh,
The dolphins are so gorgeous. They're a really odd shape, not like any dolphins I've ever seen before. It's quite sick to think that people are putting fishing nets out illegally. It must take so many dolphins' lives, and it's just a bit sad, really.
To celebrate the end of training, one final tradition, the Amazon mud bath.
Sorry, good, mate.
My friend.
Ben. Matt read back then.
They'll be living rough for the rest of the trip, so everything has to go back into their rucksacks.
Every time you put something in, you need to get something out, and every time you pack it, you have to unpack it because there's a tiny little space which you have to fill.
You can't get anything in, and this is so stressful.
Before they can finish, the heavens open. It's their first experience of a tropical downpour.
This is how I thought it would be every day. I thought it would be like raining like this because it's the rainforest. I thought it would be like this every day. I'm just so happy because it's what I've hyped myself up for.
It's improved my mood greatly. I feel just at home and we're in the middle of the Amazon getting drenched. It's just brilliant.
If the rain continues, it could have quite an effect on the canoe expedition.
Hopefully it'll make the water levels rise so we won't have to keep on moving up over logs every time. But it's really cool in the rain. It's nice.
Canoeing in the rain might be a bit annoying, so could canoeing in the heat for sort of 5-6 hours. So yeah, it's a mixed blessing.
As they finish their final supper in base camp, the week of intense training is starting to catch up with them. And leader Ben has a bombshell.
We're going into the canoe phase tomorrow, the removal of illegal fishing nets, all that kind of stuff. But what it does mean is that we've got an early get-up in the morning. We have got to leave here absolutely no later than 3:30.
In the morning?
In the morning. We've got to leave at 3:30. What time do you think you need to get up to get ready?
If we say 2:30, people won't get up till 3.
2 o'clock.
2 o'clock. 2 o'clock, and then we'll be up by 2:30 because we have to have a line.
Can we say 1:15, which means that you're actually moving, dressed, doing stuff at 2:30?
The next few days will take the young adventurers on an epic journey into the unknown. It'll be the biggest challenge of their lives.
We've got a long day of trekking and canoeing, and it's just going to be really exhausting, and I'm just generally tired and not looking forward to it really.
I was so exhausted, you wouldn't believe it, and I really don't fancy a 3-hour boat ride at like 3 in the morning. I'd rather be staying in bed, but I know we've got to be done, so I'm just going to have to live with it.
Next time on Serious Amazon, danger in the jungle.
I don't think I've ever been that scared before.
A marathon mission to help rare dolphins.
Today was hard. Today was very hard.
And growing conflict in the team.
He just doesn't really fit in with the group.